Hi, first graders. Welcome to day 9 of Making Meaning. Make sure you have a few things with you. You will need to complete this activity and then upload it to Class Dojo. You need your student response books. Make sure you have your student response book. You also need a writing tool, and you need a few books to read so that you can read for about 15 minutes today. You may read books, or I have a magazine to read today. Also, you could read on your Raz Kids account that your parent or guardian should have set up for you. All right, first graders, before I move into how to make self-to-text connections, because that's the strategy we've been practicing all of this week and last week, I'm going to remind you of what we've done so far. So on Monday and Tuesday, you heard the book Sleep Well, Why You Need to Rest. On Wednesday, you heard an article about the importance of sleeping. And I asked you a bonus question on Wednesday. And that bonus question was, why is it helpful to read more than one book or article on a topic? And the reason why it's important to read more than one book about a topic is, one, if you read lots of books, you learn different things. Two, the more you read, the more things you learn about a topic. And three, you learn something different in each book about a topic than you previously learned. So first graders, to become an expert in a topic, you need to do a lot of reading and research and get your information from different places that will give you we only want true and factual information. So the more you read about a topic, the more you know and the more expert of something you are. Okay, go ahead and flip your student response book open to the Thursday, April 2nd, Sleep Well recording sheet for day 9. We have been practicing making text-to-self connections. We are making text-to-self connections to help us understand our reading a little better. When we make text-to-self connections, we are connecting with the things that have happened in our own lives to the things that we're reading in our text. So today I'm going to model this just once for you. Tomorrow, you'll be expected to do this all by yourself, okay? So today I'm going to read this article to you from our Scholastic News magazine called Welcome to Ireland. Okay, first graders, make sure you're listening. Welcome to Ireland. Have you heard of Ireland? Here, you can see castles, rolling green hills, and sheep. But that's not all you can see. When you turn the page, 2 Irish kids will show you all around the quiet countryside and the busy cities of this faraway island. And then in this nonfiction text, because it is a nonfiction text, it has true information, the header here is called Country Life, City Life. I'm Grace. I live in the countryside of Ireland. Let me tell you all about it. In the country, houses are far apart. It can take a long time to drive to my friend's house. One of my friends has a roof made of straw. There are many sheep in the countryside. In fact, there are more sheep than people. Sometimes cars have to stop for them in the road. Whoa, I just made a text-to-self connection in my brain, and I'm going to share it with you. I read the part about there being so many sheep that sometimes cars have to stop for them in the road. And that reminded me of a time when I was driving and I had to stop for animals crossing the road. So I'm going to write that down because I've had to do that too. So I'm going to tell you about 2 situations or instances where I had to do that. So one time last summer, I went on a really, really big camping trip. And I was driving on the backside of the road. So when we say backside of the roads, we're talking about not roads that are traveled often. There's not a lot of people driving. And I was driving on the road, and all of a sudden, there were all these cows on the road. and I had to stop for them. And I thought they were going to move, but then they didn't. And I had to drive around them very carefully and very slowly because I didn't want to upset them. Another time I was driving and I had to stop was actually recently. I went to Seward Park to go for a walk, and there were a bunch of ducks in the road, and I had to stop for them. And I thought maybe if I stopped, they would move. And then they didn't. So I kind of honked the horn a little bit to like help them move out of the way. And then they did, and I was able to continue to drive to Seward Park. So I'm going to write both of those down, okay? But before I do that, I'm going to tell you what you need to do so that you can be successful for today. I need you to read for about 15 minutes. While you're reading, I want you to try and make 2 text-to-self connections. If you make 2 text-to-self connections in one of the books you're reading, that's awesome. Go ahead and take a picture of your work and upload it to Class Dojo, and then continue reading until 15 minutes is up. Remember, if you don't have any books at home to read, that's okay. Log on to your Raz Kids account, and then there are books there waiting for you to read, and you can read those books and make text-to-self connections too. You need to make 2 text-to-self connections, take a picture, and upload it to Class Dojo. Tomorrow, I will not model for you how to make a text-to-self connection. Tomorrow, I will remind you of what you're supposed to do, and then you'll have to do it all by yourself. All right, first graders, I really, really can't wait to read all the text-to-self connections you're making with the books you're reading. Continue to read, continue to make text-to-self connections, and make sure you're reading for 15 minutes. If you read longer than that, high five. Bye, first graders.